pay tribute to a group of exceptional honorees who have made a significant difference for our hospital. Dr. Abraham Neymark, Rose and Wolfgang Rauner, Abby Handelsman-Chill and Steve Chill, Noah Adelsberg, and Yossi Rubin. As many of you have heard by now, Israel has once again sent a special field hospital team to the Philippines in the wake of the terrible typhoon which hit the country. Our very own Dr. Ofer Marin, who led the IDF team in Haiti and in Japan, is once again serving as the chief medical manager of the field hospital. He is joined on this mission by 3 other Shaare Zedek doctors. While we had hoped to be able to Skype with him at the dinner this evening, the internet connection is too weak in the Philippines, so we would like to show you a short video we put together in the office, so it's a little bit of an amateur video, bear with us, which shows what Israel and Shaare Zedek are doing to heal the world. Please direct your attention to the video screen.
Hold on to me as we go.
Tonight, Dr. Nancy Schneiderman is with a team of Israeli doctors who specialize in flying in to help the hardest hit populations on Earth. They did it in Haiti, and tonight they're at work in the Philippines.
Good evening, it's Ofer Marin speaking from Bogo City in the Philippines. It's hot and humid here, even though it's nighttime already.
Really chose a hospital that wasn't in such bad shape that it needed to have the roof repaired. They came in yesterday, made the repairs, and they're already seeing the first patients, all within 24 hours.
There's one hospital here in the region that gives service to a city which is about 70,000 to 80,000 people. But it gives service to the region. The region is 250,000 people, so 250,000 people are serviced by one hospital, which may be okay, but when you enter the hospital, you understand that there are 2 physicians in the hospital. There are, 6 or 7 nurses, and these people are expected to give service to the people here. We are seeing over 300 patients every day. These patients are the out of different medical conditions that you can expect to see from people that were injured directly secondary to the disasters, to the typhoon. So you see patients who haven't seen physicians for I don't know how many years, or either saw them and did not have the money to get treatment. People in the streets, the people that we see, they all welcome us in such a warm manner that in some ways, of course, it's a reward for our work here, which is really a big privilege.
Why come to the Philippines?
Because it's a sense of helping your brothers wherever they are. So it doesn't matter your age, your color.
I think everyone in the audience should really feel proud to be Jewish, to be Israeli, to understand that Israel is willing, is able, that it wants to give humanitarian aid even in such remote places. I'm proud, and everyone in the audience should be part of this. We save lives here. There's no question about it. We help the people, and we save lives.
It is now my distinct honor to introduce our chair, a man who has been involved with Shaare Zedek for more than 50 years, my good friend, Mr. Menno Ratzker.
Jon Voight is an incredible ambassador for Israel. Jon Voight is an incredible ambassador for Israel and the Jewish people. He deserves a special round of applause for being so vocal and articulate in his beliefs while being part of an industry which has mainly taken a view not so friendly of Israel. Just a few weeks ago in LA, Jon took part in a symposium for emergency medicine, which was arranged by our Los Angeles office, headed by our own Paul, the flamboyant Paul Jesser, who is here with us today. This event commemorated the 10th yahrzeit of the tragic death of Dr. David Applebaum, Zichrono Livracha. Among the participants was Dr. Applebaum's wife, Deborah, and their son, Yitzchak, who is currently serving as a doctor in the Shaare Zedek emergency room. We had people there from Boston who worked during the marathon, Sandy Hook, Ground Zero, and Dr. Bruce Logan, who has been extremely active with Shaare Zedek for many, many years. And he is with us here today. And of course, Dr. Marin was there to address the audience, and as you saw now, he's currently in the Philippines. We welcome Jon to his second Shaare Zedek event and thank him for his friendship and his leadership. Jon, welcome to the Shaare Zedek family, and please join us to say a few words.
It's very moving for me to be here. I've had several careers. I was in a bank not long ago, and I noticed an elderly couple who were pointing to me and talking among themselves, and they moved back and forth. They looked at me and went over here and were talking, and I knew they were there. And finally, the gentleman came over to me, and he said, "I know you." And I said, "I'm a dancer on the Chabad telethon." He said, "That's it." Can I tell you one more of those? These are true stories, but they're fun. I had this whole other career. I was in a supermarket. I shop for my own stuff, and I come around the corner, and a hand grabs her, strong hand. I turn around, and it's this elderly woman. And she puts her finger in my face, and she says, "Boychik, you're a good dancer, and you're getting better." Anyway, people wonder perhaps what my attachment is to the Jewish people, because I've, with the telethon, of course, I've become famous for being with them, and my dancing is very entertaining for many people. Billy Crystal makes when he was doing comic relief, he would mention it every year, and talk about not having seen anything like it in his lifetime. So I was impressive to some folks, But let me just share with you that my association with the Jewish people went back to the time I was a child, because my father was a golf professional at a German Jewish country club in Scarsdale, New York, Sunningdale Country Club. And my dad, who they called Whitey, caddied there when he was 8 years old. And being a very poor kid, he tried to think up ways where he could ingratiate himself to the member he was carrying the clubs for. And at the end, about 17th hole, he would say, "It's my birthday today." Like that, you see. And that did him pretty well, according to my father, until one day he slipped and said the same thing to a person who he had told the same story to 2 weeks before. And he was caught, you see. But they found him so charming and such a, I guess they admired his chutzpah, and they took to him. And these members of that club saw to it that he was encouraged in his love of golf. He became a golf professional at that club at 16 years old. He became the head professional at that club at 19 years old, and he stayed at that club until his death. But when I was a little kid, you see, I was born in 1938, so in the very early years of the war, I was learning things and growing, and I was aware of anti-Semitism. And I was aware that these people who my father served and who were his mentors were excluded from other clubs. And I knew the story about how my dad would, share many stories, and he was, very proud of them. And he said, these people, didn't sit around moaning about it. They went out, bought land, raised some money, and got their own club. And that's, that was a great boon to our family. It served us. They became our benefactors all of my life. I knew also, now that somebody's phone is ringing, I'm going to turn mine off. Thank God you reminded me. But so I was aware of many things. I was aware of the Holocaust when I was a little boy, and I saw pictures. And there are survivors here tonight. Thank God. And I saw that they were my age, and for some reason, this attack on them struck me deeply when I was a young fellow. So as I grew older, I don't know why it was, but I found myself being drawn to things Jewish and Jewish people. I think at one point I recognized that my father, although he was Catholic and we were being raised Catholic, there was something different about my dad. Something very special, because he had 3 siblings, but none of his siblings had the same stature, the same moral character that he had, the same grace that he had. And I realized at one point that he was being raised by this Jewish country club. They were his aunts and uncles, and they raised him up and told him how to speak and told him how the proper way to eat, taught him to drink scotch and play gin rummy and all sorts of wonderful things. But I realized at one point, I said, you know something? My father's Jewish. And I had a great admiration for my dad. I mean, of course, he was a quite extraordinary fellow. So anyway, for all those delightful things, I was going to say, can I tell you just one joke? Because I got you here. You're a captive audience. You can't leave too soon. And I promise that I'll get right to it after I tell this joke. What is it about Jewish humor? My father laughed. When he'd come back, he'd be chuckling and he'd tell us a joke. And it was always a special kind of humor. Like, here's a quick one. Did you hear about Abe? No, what? He dropped dead and broke his glasses and everything. My father loved that joke. He loved it. I just heard one from David Mamet. I'm going to drop a name, David Mamet. David Mamet told me a joke. He said Sidney Lumet, the great director, Sidney Lumet from the films, had told him at one time, he said, I was talking to my father, and my father asked me, he says, how's it going, Sidney? He said, Dad, it's tremendous. All the investments I made have come through. I'm making piles of money. I'm going to direct a picture with Paul Newman, the great Paul Newman. It's a terrific script. We'll probably get awards from it. I'm just doing perfectly. And his father looked at him and said, don't worry. This is you people. Anyway, I have been very deeply connected to things Jewish, and I'm a Zionist, very much in love with the state of Israel. And when I feel the need, I go to Israel just to support them and let them know other people throughout the world have got their backs. And one of the things that I said when I was there a little while ago was the reason everyone, I had thought about, what is this anti-Semitism? And I said to a reporter, I said, the reason everyone wants to eradicate the Jews is because the Jew is the conscience of the entire world. They have given us the law of life to live by. Perhaps our evil inclination would like to rid the law and live in the days of Sodom and Gomorrah. And I believe that's the truth. When they asked me over and over, what is my attachment to the Jewish people, I answered this. The Jewish people have given mankind the perfect tools for living. They have given us the teachings of the great Torah, which, if followed, bring us to peace, love, courage, wisdom, and justice, and every possible answer to life's needs. You people are tremendously important. You people here in this room. The work that you do, it's tremendous. These legions around the world of Jewish people who support Israel, who do this thing which is tzedakah. And someone said to me today, they explained to me, it was Paul Jesser, but don't make a big thing out of it. He said, tzedakah does not mean charity. It means do the right thing. And that's what this doctor is doing in the Philippines now. Why is Israel the only one to respond? The first to respond, Israel. Look at the lists of things that Israel, this small country, has contributed. The security of the world, the life of the future depends on the engine that is Israel. Look at the amazing things that it has produced. And look at these people. Who came to Sandy? You want to write a letter to all the people from other countries who came to help us during Sandy? You only have to write one letter. Israel. And of course, they do it in such a way that they share their information. They took 100 tons to the Philippines of equipment, 100 tons, which they will leave there for those people. And they're showing them how to take care of things, and they work with their doctors there. Anyway, Israel is God's gift to all mankind. Because Israel is a sole reminder of the survival of the Jewish people. After the slaughter of 6 million men, women, and children, the survivors found strength in God to believe they must find new land, new refuge, new beginning, to keep the Jewish legend alive, to fulfill God's promise that they are his chosen people and must never be driven to extinction. Their understanding of Torah cultivated a barren land where a new generation thrives. Once again, they are plagued by enemies who do not understand democracy, love, and life. Let us band together, Jew and non-Jew, to keep Israel safe and free to worship democracy and freedom forever. Much love to you.
Now my pleasure to introduce Dr. Yonatan Halevi, who does not need any introduction. He is the Director General of Shaare Zedek Medical Center in Jerusalem. He has held that job for 25 plus years, and he's just an amazing individual. Just in the past year, he has supervised our acquisition of Bikur Cholim Hospital right in the center of Jerusalem. He has continued the progress of the construction of our new building, which will start to open up in January, I am told, all the time running a tight financial ship and being a fantastic fundraiser all over the world. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Dr. Yonatan Halevi.
Thank you very much, Maury, for your kind introduction. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I would like to start by thanking Mr. Voight for being the best ambassador for Israel that I've ever heard. And I thank you on behalf of the Jewish community and the people of Israel. Like every year, I bring you news from Jerusalem, and this year was a very exciting year for our hospital. After taking over Bikur Cholim 10 months ago, we are now a 1,000-bed hospital that delivers 13% of the babies born in Israel, and that covers spectrum of disciplines and centers of excellence that really span all over medicine. Now, in Jerusalem, we define a center of excellence by the number of patients who decide to come outside Jerusalem to be healed in Jerusalem. For you Americans, driving 50 minutes, that's what it takes to drive from Tel Aviv, is really nothing. But for an Israeli who has many options in the Tel Aviv area or in the north of Israel, there are 4 hospitals around Haifa, which is the largest city in the north of Israel. There is a university hospital in the south of Israel. So if 35% of patients who come to have complex surgery in the Department of Surgery in Shaare Zedek come from out of the catchment area of the hospital, the greater metropolitan area of Jerusalem, and the 50% of patients coming to have advanced procedures in our interventional cardiology center, the catheterization laboratory at our Jefferson Heart Center in Shaare Zedek, and I could bring many more examples. That shows that Shaare Zedek really became a national referral center in many, many of its departments. Between 2000 and 2004, as many of you well know, we absorbed 40% of those who were injured in the Intifada. Jerusalem is a multi-ethnic, multicultural city, and when you go about the corridors of the hospital, you could see representation of each and every denomination, ethnic group, or cultural group in our multicultural, multi-ethnic city. And everybody is getting treatment. Sometimes we even treat terrorists, and not everybody agrees with it. But once they cross the doorstep of the hospital, according to the moral law and according to Jewish law, we have to treat them. And it's not for nothing that my deputy was the head of the field hospital in Haiti, in Fukushima in Japan, and you saw Ofer Marin now in the Philippines. Because we try to select the key people in the hospital, not only according to their high level of professional performance, but Menschlichkeit counts. Actually, when I try to interview a candidate for a key position in the hospital, a head of a clinical department, head of an administrative department, one of my deputies, I always say that I try to emphasize, if we are talking about a professional doctor, 5 traits. Now, in decreasing order of importance, although everything is important, it's first and foremost Menschlichkeit, then managerial skills, then that he will be a prominent figure in his or her specific discipline, and because missions of any hospitals in the world include research and training the next generation, I expect such a candidate to be also a top teacher and a top researcher. And we really had success in the last 2 decades to attract many, many key people to the hospital who excel in these 5 traits, 5 human and professional qualities, and the offer is one of them and has this permanent appointment of being the head, the chief physician of the hospital that the IDF mobilizes to disaster-stricken zones all over the world. So I miss him in the hospital, and I had to come to this dinner, and he is not there. But I have another deputy, Dr. Dan Turner, who is an international recognized pediatric gastroenterologist. And I really would like to end by sharing with you how do we develop our centers of excellence, what directs us to decide that a certain area in medicine will be our emphasis for the next year or 2 in order to attract the best people, in order to use your generosity and the money that you give us in order to buy the best equipment and to establish the best facility. And I can tell you that what directs us are the needs, the real needs of the community. Not considerations of our prestige, not financial considerations, what will bring us more money, but the needs of the community. And many of you who are supporting us for many years know that back in the early 90s, people in Israel were dying while waiting for a cardiac procedure. By cardiac procedure, I mean an interventional operation in the catheterization laboratory or open heart surgery. And it was at that time in the early 90s that under the recommendation of the management, the board decided to fundraise and establish the largest comprehensive heart center in Israel because this was the need of the community at that time. If we did not develop our maternity services, or if when we lost money on it, and we are not now because the reimbursement system was changed in Israel, we were closing or shrinking it, 52% of women in Jerusalem would not have a place to deliver. We have the largest geriatric department in the city of Jerusalem and one of the largest in Israel because we believe that the 2 extremes of the spectrum of ages are the most vulnerable segments of the population. The very, very young, that's why we have a most elaborate neonatal intensive care unit, and we are now expanding it. And that's why when you move to the other side of spectrum of ages, the other vulnerable segment of the population are the very old, and we attend to the very old at Shaare Zedek. The average age of a patient in our geriatric department is 87, and nobody is too old to be taken care of with the same dedication, devotion, and professionalism as he was or she was 20 or 30 years younger. So I'm here to thank you for supporting our hospital in the heart of Jerusalem, who treats everybody in humane, personalized fashion, and we hope to be able to go on to do it for many years to come with your help. Thank you very much for being here tonight.
We'd now like to show you a short video, which you'll see our Professor Yonatan Halevi has a short cameo in, which you'll see the topic and you'll understand the fact that it went viral in Israel was very exciting. So.
זה החיידק, דיקי דיקי דק, כמה חמקמק, מתחבא לו באוויר לכן נראה כמו אבק. הוא לא נורמלי, רדיקלי, יש לו מוח קרימינלי, אפשר אותו לתקוף בחומר אנטי-בקטריאלי.
לא ידעתי שהעניין הזה כזה חשוב, שטיפה קטנה 20 שניות פחות חולה עצוב. אם שיחקתי במשחק, אז עכשיו מרים ידיים, שוטף אותה מעיף את החיידקים אל תוך המים.
אני קוטל החיידקים מספר 1 במחלקה, חיידקים שמסתכלים עליי הופכים לפטריה, אני האיש הרע, קטלני כמו מלנומה, הרגתי חיידקים מתל אביב עד אוקלהומה, פולשני כמו ניקור מותני, מהיר כמו אק"ג, חיידק שמתעסק איתי ישר אני יורה, לא יוצא שלא מוצא איך את הידיים לחטא, אם חשבת שברחת אז עכשיו אתה רואה. אז מרמים את העניינים ומתחילים,
המשימה, מעיפים את החיידקים עכשיו מתוך המחלקה. תשימו את הידיים מתחת למים, ותנו לו בסבון, תנו לו גם אז מרימים את העניינים ומתחילים במשימה, מעיפים את החיידקים עכשיו מתוך המחלקה. תשימו את הידיים מתחת למים, ותנו לו בסבון, תנו לו גם
מסתובבת בלילות אני כמו כלב שמירה, יש חיידק שמפזר פה זיהומים בלי הכרה, וכל אחד הוא מטרה, אבל אני שומרת ראש, הסתבכת עם ליאורה אז כדאי לך לחשוב.
עכשיו דממה. החיידק על הבמה כל כך רע שהחולה צריך מכשיר הנשמה, מתפרץ כמו ליאו מסי, משוטט כמו מזלג, אני קופץ פה על כולם, לא מפחד מהקב"ט, מעבירים אותי מיד ליד מיד ליד, ואני כאן לא לבד, יש לי אלפי חברים ממש מצעד, משחקים כאן הישרדות, לי יש שרשרת חסינות, אפילו אנטיביוטיקה לא גורמת לי למות.
אתה הגעת עד לפה אבל עכשיו זה נגמר, מפסיקים פה את המחדל לפני שיהיה מאוחר, אז תקשיבו חברים, זה בידיים שלנו, בוא נשטוף אותם עכשיו עם הסיפור הזה גמרנו. אז מרימים את העניינים ומתחילים המשימה, מעיפים את החיידקים עכשיו מתוך המחלקה. תשימו את הידיים מתחת למים, ותנו לו בסבון, תנו לו גם
אז מרימים את העניינים ומתחילים במשימה, מעיפים את החיידקים עכשיו מתוך המחלקה, אז שימו את הידיים מתחת למים, תנו לו בסבון, תנו לו גם.
We thought you'd enjoy that brief segue into trying to solve one of the major problems in hospitals, which is infections caused by people who don't wash their hands, and this has now been seen all around the world. We are honoring a wonderful group of people this evening, and it is my privilege and honor to present our first honoree, Dr. Abraham Newmark, who is being given this evening the Jerusalem Humanitarian Award for his incredible kindness and generosity to Shaare Zedek. And since Dr. Neymark is unable to go to Israel to have an official dedication at the hospital, we are doing that tonight as well. Dr. Neymark is a visionary philanthropist whose exemplary kindness has been felt throughout his local community and Israel. In March of this year, Shaare Zedek was awarded a gift from him to name the Abraham I. and Ruth E. Neymark Cochlear Implant Center at the hospital. For those of you who don't know, cochlear implantation is a dramatic technology involving the placement of an electronic device which offers the irreplaceable gift of sound to previously deaf or severely hearing impaired children and adults. Dr. Neymark has made an impact on many worthy causes, including the naming of the Abraham and Ruth Neymark Pavilion at Long Island Jewish, the dedication of a conference room in the Cochlear Center at LIJ, dedicating the Abe and Ruth Newmark building at the Young Israel of Holliswood in Queens, and creating the Neymark Scholarship Fund at Yeshiva University's Cy Sims School of Business. In May of 2013, Abe was bestowed with the honorary degree of Doctor of Humane Letters by Yeshiva University. As he wrote in the book, From Travail to Triumph, The Remarkable Life of Abraham Neymark, philanthropy gave and still gives meaning to all the challenges and struggles I have endured in my life. Through giving to others, I have enriched not only their lives, but mine as well. We thank our good friends Rabbi Rafi Butler, Norman Horowitz, and Michael Strauss for their help in making this wonderful shidduch between Shaare Zedek and Dr. Neymark. But above all, we thank you, Abe, for your kindness and your compassion and your amazing dedication to bringing healing to so many. And may I add just one word? Jon Voight mentioned, the survivors, and Abe is a survivor, and he came through that terrible ordeal and became one of the great philanthropists and charitable people in the world. So it is my pleasure to call upon Dr. Abe Neymark.
About a year ago, we got a phone call from our very good friend, Rabbi Rafi Butler,
who said to me that he had someone that he wanted us to meet, and he felt that this was someone who could really help the hospital.
Abe constantly referred back to the most important times of his life, were the moments of building the State of Israel. Therefore, when Abe continued to expand his world of giving, I saw this as a great opportunity for Abe to merge the various missions of his life to support such a wonderful cause.
Abe donated to Long Island Jewish Hospital, to the Cochlear Center. He has also given to Yeshiva University. Since he didn't have children of his own, he wanted to make sure that children that have the scholastic aptitude but do not have the ability and the means to pay, that they would benefit from the scholarship money that he donated to them. And of course, the main reason for Shaare Zedek is combine the health issue with Israel. It brings it back full cycle to where he grew up.
I actually looked for somewhere I can build in cochlear implant center. Somehow, Shaare Zedek came to me.
Cochlear implantation is a dramatic technology that essentially involves the placement of sensors in the part of the brain that affects hearing. It's sort of impossible to describe how emotional it is to watch a child hear his mother's voice for the first time. And what Dr. Neymark is doing by helping to support our department is really opening up a whole new world to countless children in Jerusalem and Israel.
It took Jonathan maybe an hour because I was persuaded before he started talking. I shook his hand and I said, Jonathan, you got it. And that's it.
Dr. Neymark's life really reads like fiction. I mean, you cannot believe the stories that he tells. If they weren't true, if he weren't the one telling it to you live, you would believe it was somebody making it up.
Whether it's his trek through Germany, his time in Eretz Israel, his succeeding from rags to riches here in America, look at all that he's accomplished despite all the odds.
Dr. Neymark is an incredible man, and we are so honored that he's chosen Shaare Zedek as a way to really help the people of Jerusalem and Israel and bring his unique level of kindness and healing to so many.
I would like to thank Dr. Abraham Neymark for his wonderful support and naming of the cochlear implant unit here in Shaare Zedek. On behalf of myself, Shaare Zedek, and all the many, many children who are benefiting and will benefit from his support. Thank you very much.
I made a lot of money, but I said, there are better places to put it than in my pocket. The funny thing is, it felt good, more than any million. So it may touch my life. And I succeeded.
Good evening, everyone. As Wolfie says every day, Shalu Shalom Yerushalayim Yishlav Ohevayach. Pray for the well-being of Jerusalem. May those who love you be at peace. Tonight, I have the great pleasure of introducing Rose and Wolfie Reiner, cherished and longtime friends of Shaare Zedek and personal friends for more than 2 decades. If you asked me to describe them in a few words, I would say they imbue true Yekish qualities of honesty, generosity, kindness, modesty, and yes, punctuality. Wolfie had the incredibly good fortune of escaping with his family on the last transport of Jews out of Luxembourg. Through the years, Wolfie founded Reiner Crafts Associates, part of the arts and crafts industry, and Rose taught elementary school for 3 decades. For the past 40 years, as a solicitor for Shaare Zedek's annual dinner, Wolfie and Rose have devoted themselves to strengthening the health and well-being of the people of Jerusalem in general and the patients and babies of Shaare Zedek in particular. We are so lucky that you have chosen to make our hospital your passion. That's why many people in your home community of Hillcrest, Queens, call Wolfie Mr. Shaare Zedek. The Rauners are longtime members of Young Israel of Hillcrest, where Wolfie serves as a board member. Tonight, we also celebrate Wolfie's 85th birthday. We wish you and Rose many more years of health, happiness, and nachas from your family that we know you love and cherish so deeply. Ladies and gentlemen, please give your attention to the video.
Shaare Zedek, as far as I knew in my early youth, was the Yekka charity. And we had a pushka in the house for Shaare Zedek. And my mother would put in a few pennies that she could spare every Friday afternoon into the tzedakah box for Shaare Zedek. So I grew up in that environment.
I remember our very first visit there quite a few years ago. I saw a young child, he was an Arab child, who came to the hospital on a donkey twice a week, and he was treated with the same exact courtesy and love and caring as were any of the other patients at the hospital. And that really made a very lasting impression on me.
I became a founder in gratitude to Hashem for turning my life around. They sent us a brochure with all of the dedication possibilities. And we went down, and when we hit this well baby nursery, our eyes lit up.
We were among the fortunate few who got out of Germany on time. We thought about it, and we decided that to show our gratitude, the best thing you can do is have lots and lots of healthy Jewish children. And how do you get lots and lots of healthy Jewish children? By providing a wonderful place for them to be born. And so the logical next step would be a nursery.
I don't think there is anything that brings the Rauners more pleasure and more pride in what they've accomplished than when they have friends and family members who visit the Rauner nursery and see the babies that are being born there. Now we're bringing more than 21,000 babies into the world each year, and that accomplishment really says a lot for what the Rauners themselves have done for the hospital.
The Rauners have achieved a lot of success in their life in many ways, but always, to me, I view them as achievers in humility. If one takes the time to read their biography, one is impressed by its content, and when you meet them, particularly impressed by their humility.
Wolfie and Rose exude the full embodiment of who we are, those who are connected to the Shaare Zedek world. They are passionate about the hospital, they are kind, they have always have a huge smile on their faces. They just really represent all that we are and all that we hope to accomplish for the people of Jerusalem and Israel.
They should continue for many more years with health and happiness. They should continue their good work on behalf of Shaare Zedek. They really, truly are our partners in healing, and they should continue to have tremendous nachas and joy from their beautiful family.
We would hope that by example we can somehow impress the importance of giving to others. You don't just do for yourself, you really have to share and do for others.
Tzedakah in general, it's part of being a Jew, whether we have good fortune or not such good fortune, we have to share with a heart, at the hospital with a heart.
Your award reads the Keter Yerushalayim Award, presented with profound appreciation and esteem to Rose and Wolfgang Rauner in recognition of their exemplary support, outstretched hand of kindness, and selfless commitment to the well-being of Klal Yisrael and Medinat Yisrael.
It is my honor to be able to present Patrons of Medicine Award to my good friends, Abby Handelsman Chill and Steve Chill. Abby and Steve are both longtime supporters of Shaare Zedek, and Steve and his firm Goldenbach, Eisenman, Asur, Bell, and Pesco and LLP have acted as legal counsel for Shaare Zedek for more than 3 decades. Abby is an attorney for the New York City Fire Department, where she specializes in medical issues concerning the city's ambulance service, healthcare privacy issues, and conflicts of interest matters. Steve and Abby are founding members of Congregation Sulam Yaakov in Larchmont, New York, as well as members of the Jewish Community Center of Harrison. Both Abby and Stevie are active supporters of several local and national organizations, including Tzofim. What makes the Chills unique is their kindness, their warmth, and perhaps, above all, their humor, which you will soon see in the video. They have the kind of home where the doors are always open, where there is a pervasive sense of everyone is always welcome. And I consider myself very lucky to be friends of both of them. Ladies and gentlemen, please direct your view to the video.
For more than 30 years, Shaare Zedek has had the privilege of working together with the firm of Gollenbach, Eisenman, Asor, Bell, and Pesco, but most specifically with Steve Chill, who has really, in his unbelievable commitment to the hospital, his dedication, his passion, always represented us with the most amazing insights and guidance. But what's amazing is when you meet his wife, who is the perfect complement to all things that he brings to the table. And that says a lot about Abby and about Steve together.
Steve and I first visited Shaare Zedek on our first trip to Israel together, which was about a year after we were married. And even then, Professor Halevi took time out of his day, showed us around the hospital, and I was floored by the hospital. It was just one of the most amazing things I had ever seen.
You know, some of my earliest experiences with Shaare Zedek as a young lawyer were meetings with Ludwig Jesselson and Charlie Bentheim. And really just two amazing individuals. You know, but it wasn't just the Jesselson and Bentheim families. I've worked closely with Menno Ratzker over the years. Everyone has been terrific. The menu of medical services at Shaare Zedek is ever expanding, but not expanding for the sake of expansion, but expanding for the sake of excellence, for the sake of helping people, for the sake of not only healing bodies, but for healing souls. And it's not just bricks and mortar they're building at Shaare Zedek, they're building a future for Israel.
I grew up with parents who were constantly doing things for other people, were constantly going out into the community, both within our family, but also within the greater community, the Jewish community, and beyond the Jewish community. It's always been a part of our lives.
They are very caring and loving towards everyone in our community. They're always giving, always friendly. They always enjoy giving back to people and interacting with others.
I think that they've only reached this point and been able to be honored in such a way because of the effect that they've had on the lives of others, and I think it really shows how much you can really do for other people.
Giving is important to them because that's who they are. That's the essence of their being. Every moment that they're awake.
And there is an immeasurable amount of laughter. And you don't have that with too many people.
You don't have to fight just to get to the Jesselson Heart Center. You'll get there. Y'all get.
Steve has a combination of humor, values, character, personality that are absolutely charming and gracious.
It brings people out, people that would normally not interact together. He has a way of, putting you at ease, and, I think that's why clients love him so much.
And that's Steve. You know when you call him, you're going to get two things. First, you're going to get the humor, you're going to get a joke, probably a little sarcasm, something that will, without a doubt, brighten your day. But you also know that you're going to get sage advice so that you can make the right decision for Shaare Zedek.
There are very few people in our world who are true mensches. To me, it's somebody who worries about not just themselves and what makes them comfortable, somebody who really cares about other people, even if he doesn't know them that well. That's Steve and the Chill family.
Abby and Steve have always been there
with their heart, with their soul. Shaare Zedek is a part of their professional lives as well as their personal lives. And we are so proud to be partnered together with him for so many years.
Shaare Zedek really is a household name, and it's really a part of our lives. We're proud to be honored by Shaare Zedek.
You know, when I think of who prior honorees are, why am I on this list? But when I got past the why me, if there's even in a small way, our being honored can be of benefit to Shaare Zedek, then I'm all in.
The award reads, Patrons of Medicine Award, presented with heartfelt gratitude and admiration to Abby Handelsman Schill and Stephen Schill, in recognition of their selfless commitment, profound concern, and exceptional devotion to the healthcare needs of the people of Jerusalem, Israel.
Good evening. The first Shaare Zedek College event took place 6 years ago, which, thanks to the growth and involvement of more and more college students, has grown each year to be more successful than the last, with 350 students attending this year's event. This past year was a great year for the Shaare Zedek College Board, as they went from raising $100,000 last year to raising $180,000 this past August. Tonight, we have two outstanding college honorees. Noah Adelsberg and Yossi Rubin. They say that a leader is one that knows the way, goes the way, and shows the way. Noah and Yossi, you are both leaders, and we are so very proud of you. We look forward to your continued involvement to make a difference in the lives of so many at Shaare Zedek. Mazel tov to you and your families on your receiving the Shaare Zedek Chesed Leadership Award. Ladies and gentlemen, please direct your attention to the video.
As director of the New York region of the American Committee for Shaare Zedek, I meet many people, and one of the areas that I really have enjoyed has been creating a college board which has about 18 students. And this year we decided to take a different approach for our College Bowl Fund. The goal for this event was $180,000, which is a huge goal for almost any event, certainly for a college event. And in order to do that, each member of the board would have to be a captain themselves. When Noah Adelsberg became captain, he said to me, Sharon, I'm going to be number one.
I was brought up in a house where, since the beginning, it's always about chesed and giving. It's about someone else before yourself. My whole family is involved in Shaare Zedek. Clearly, it's a very important chesed to us, and it's really rubbed off on myself.
Noah could be very proud of his efforts because not only did he drive all the teams to compete, he set the bar high so that we could dedicate the MRI control room.
I think I got 2 or 3 more teams into it, and it got really fun. But more importantly, we all had one goal, to raise money for Shaare Zedek. Shaare Zedek is so special, and I think it's so important for college kids like myself and kids my age to get started now, because when you get started now, you found yourself in a foundation or in a charity, and you run with it for the rest of your life, and you get passionate about it.
When we decided to make a college board, we thought about Chicago, and of course Yossi Rubin was one of the first students that we thought of.
My first experience with Shaare Zedek was during the Shana Aleph in Israel. It was during Hanukkah time, and they asked a bunch of kids if they wanted to go to Shaare Zedek Hospital and give out gifts to all the children. And I felt the warmth with Shaare Zedek. It was something I never really felt before in a hospital. And then when I was asked to be part of the Shaare Zedek Young Leadership Board, I jumped on it. My parents instilled the values in me to give. It's a big thing, just to give back, and to encourage others too as well. As a college student, I'm not really the person that can give so much, but I can give time, and I can give effort, and I can work. And that's what I do.
Yossi said that he not only would like to be on the college board, but he would like to be part of the matching gift committee. And I know it's something that he certainly learned from, but I'm really proud of him because it's not easy to ask people to give money to any organization. It's something that most people don't have to do.
At the end of the day, it's a ton of fun doing this. It's a lot of work, it's a lot of time, it's a lot of effort. It was something I'd never done before, and it was a rewarding feeling. It was awesome. It was a great feeling.
There are many students that made the college Black Tie Bowl-a-thon a great success. And tonight, I'm really thrilled to be able to present the Chesed Leadership Award to Noah Adelsberg and to Yossi Rubin, who are so deserving. We thank them for all that they did to make the college event such a great success.
And the award reads, Chesed Leadership Award presented for your outstanding efforts with great admiration to Noah Adelsberg and to Yossi Rubin.
So thank you all so much for joining us this evening. What do you say we ask Jon Voight to come up and speak again? Anyone? We appreciate your support and your friendship. Thank you so much to our dinner chairs and our co-chairs, our dedicated solicitors, and especially to our wonderful honorees who really inspired a tremendous level of support tonight. We welcome each and every one of you to visit us at the hospital next time you're in Israel, preferably not as a patient, just as a visitor, but call us anytime if you need us. And lastly, we'd like to once again wish a happy birthday to Wolfie on his 85th birthday. Thank you all so much. Get home safely and good night.
We would be pleased to send a complimentary DVD of this program to anyone who wishes to support Shalom TV with a tax-deductible gift of $36, double chai or more, to the nonprofit organization Jewish Education in Media. Simply visit the Shalom TV website homepage and click on the Donate button to make a donation by PayPal or your credit card. And please indicate the program for which you would like a DVD. Or you can send your tax-deductible check made out to GEM, Post Office Box 180, Riverdale Station, Bronx, New York, 10471. And again, please remember to indicate which program you would like to receive on DVD with our compliments. And we thank you for your kind support.